Welcome to a presentation of National Geographic Learning Reach on myngconnect.com. The purpose for this session is to help you understand and be able to use the Comprehension Coach with your students in your classroom. Before we get into the Comprehension Coach, let me remind you of a few things. From your home page, when you log into MyNG Connect, if you need assistance, if you have questions, if there's documentation that you need to support you, using the Help button that you see indicated here, you will find all of the user manuals that are available for you. On your home page, in addition to those user manuals, that documentation that is here, from the center column of your home page, if you scroll down to the Reach into Teaching section, you also will find additional tutorials within the tab for professional development. Tutorials that indicate how to use the program in print, as well as how to use the technology resources on myngconnect.com. As we notice the home page for teachers, just as a reminder, all of your teacher resources and student books can be found in this section. Throughout today's presentation time, we will be using Reach Level C as our demonstration level. If you have other levels in your classroom, then you would be able to just go to those levels using the arrows indicated to the left and right of this carousel. In addition to the professional development section found under this center column, you also find support for your lesson planner, your presentation tool, the digital library, e-assessments, and then other resources as well. In the final column of your home page, you and your students have access to National Geographic Kids as well as National Geographic Explorer. Please note that these websites are external sites to MyNG Connect, but they are safe sites for you and your students to access. We now are going to go into Reach Level C so that we can spend quite a bit of time learning, becoming familiar with the Comprehension Coach. So from the home page, let's open up the student book for Reach Level C. When this is activated, you'll be able to choose your student book or the student book applicable for your grade level. As you look, if you have been on MyNG Connect, you know that your student book is here in its entirety. Before we launch this Comprehension Coach, let's just talk about a few things that are here. Above this or within this section entitled My Books, I want you to focus your eyes for a moment to these icons to the right of the screen. The first icon is for your vocabulary notebook, where students can record vocabulary words that they are not as familiar with or that you want to make sure they have within their materials. The second icon that looks like a mouse will actually launch the Comprehension Coach, and I'll do so in just a second. I just want to remind you of these other icons first. This particular icon will allow you or students to toggle between their books. They can make highlights within sections of their book, and this on-page glossary is always available to them. So let's open up the Comprehension Coach. And once we activate the Comprehension Coach, you will hear verbiage from the system itself. So I will sit tight.
Choose a selection.
I am currently logged in as a teacher, but I will log in as my student to actually take one of these assessments so that you can see a score. So as the teacher, I see all of the titles for the selections that are included within my grade level book, and as you notice, none of them have any scores right now. At the bottom of this screen, you see there are indicators that will show you what all of the information means within your reports for the Comprehension Coach. I'm going to log out of this as a teacher for just a moment so that I can log in as a student and you be able to see data. Now that I am logged in as a student, let's take a look at the Comprehension Coach from the student's viewpoint. We've launched the student book, and above the student book there are several icons so that the student can use those icons within the text. The first one indicates their vocabulary notebook, which allows them to record words they are not familiar with or words you want them to know. The second icon is for the Comprehension Coach. We'll launch the Comprehension Coach in just a moment. The next icon will allow students to toggle between different books. They can highlight their text, they can use the on-page glossary, and this icon will allow them to go home. Let's open or activate the Comprehension Coach.
Choose a selection.
We see that this student has completed their reading for Be My Neighbor, and we see their progress reports and questions here. Let's read another selection with this student. Let's read Twilight Hunt, a Seek and Find story.
To answer questions while you read, click the red Q icons. To practice reading out loud, click Record.
So after I click the blue OK, the page will appear so that I can see the full text of questions. There are 3 types of questions included within Comprehension Coach, and hopefully as we move through, you will see an example of each of them. Here's the first one indicated by this red box with the white Q. This is a multiple choice question. Students can click on these icons in order to hear the question being read to them. With this multiple choice option, if I get the question correct the first time, I will receive all of the points available.
Correct.
Let's move to the next question. This also is a multiple choice question.
Sorry, please try again.
It looks like I didn't get the answer correct, so it does provide me a hint. In that I didn't get the correct answer the first time, then I will receive fewer points for this response.
Correct.
Let's turn the next page and hopefully we'll see a different type of question. The second type of question that is included in Comprehension Coach is true or false. With the true or false response, if I miss it the first time, I do not have an opportunity to go back and change my answer, which means I'll get 0 points for this question if I miss it.
Sorry, incorrect.
Because I didn't get it correct, it did give me a hint, but you notice I don't get an opportunity to go back and try for the other answer. I'll continue again. Another multiple choice. Let's find the answer here. It's nowhere to be found.
Correct.
And as I turn the page one more time, I still know that I have a couple of opportunities still to answer another question, and I want to move through this completely because I want you to hopefully have the opportunity to see the third type of question. If I get to the last question and it doesn't give me that opportunity, I will share with you what that third option is.
Correct. Correct.
And this is my last question. Let's see what it is. And I know this is my last question because there's no way for me to continue answering questions or continuing turning pages. So let's check it out. This also is a multiple choice, so I will tell you. The three types of questions that are available are multiple choice, true, false, and oftentimes students will have the opportunity to identify the passage so that they go back into the text and highlight their response. When they highlight the correct passage that answers the question, then they will receive those points. They also have a couple of chances to find the right passage, just as they have a couple of chances to find the correct multiple choice response. So one more time, true, false, multiple choice, or identify the passage. And let me answer this last question. Look at the picture on the page. And
Correct.
now I've answered all of the question portions of the Comprehension Coach. The next opportunity is for students to record themselves reading a passage. The next opportunity that is available for students within Comprehension Coach is to record themselves reading the passages. Let's take a look to see what that looks like for the student now.
Now, let's check your microphone. Put your headset on, like the way shown in the image, and click Next.
It is recommended that students use microphones, especially in the classroom setting, so that as much of the outside or external noise is eliminated. National Geographic Learning does have the opportunity to sell those headphones to you, but a lot of districts already use content with headsets, and those headsets will typically work with this program as well.
After the beep, please count to 10 and click Next when you are done.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Playback in progress. If you are able to hear your voice clearly, then click Next. If not, click Retry to record again.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Good job. Your microphone is working fine.
After I click OK, the system will indicate to me when I should start reading and when I should stop reading in order to have a complete passage for the system to grade or analyze.
3, 2, 1. Start reading here after the beep. Click Next when you are done.
A neighborhood is where you live, learn, play, and work. There are neighborhoods all over the world. Some neighborhoods have a large population. Others have a very small population. Still, every neighborhood is a special place. This report is an indication that this student has completed enough reading in order to get a reading report and provide word practice. Though, based upon this arrow here, the student could continue to read more. For our purposes, we're going to stop reading now and open this reading report. Now that the student has completed the reading, let's take a look at the two reports that are available. The reading report will show for you the student and the teacher those things that were read correctly, those things that were not read correctly, and then words or phrases that were not read at all. The student could listen to their recording, and if they wanted to re-record the passage, they actually could re-record the passage as well, but you, the teacher, would only receive the last one that they submit. Students will see their words correct read per minute, words correct per minute that have been read, and they also see the number of points they scored using the geo points. The color keys indicate, again, those words students may have had trouble with, those words that they did not read at all, and then those words that they read correctly. When logged in as the teacher, you can adjust the settings for speech recognition so that if the student tends to read a little bit slower, it can not be as strict for some students, and you may want the setting to be more strict for other students. When we log in as the teacher, I will be able to point that out to you. The second thing that students have within their reading report is the opportunity to practice.
Listen to the word.
Their words that they had problems with, that they struggled with. That word list has been pre-populated based upon the words that they missed. They will be able to listen to the word, say and record the word, and then listen to the recording of that word and rate themselves. Each student's list will be individualized, specific to that student's reading. I just want you to keep that in mind. So these are the words that the student struggled with. If the student sitting next to that person did not struggle with words, then their word list would look very different. So I will close for now the word practice, but students get that automatic feedback once they have read the section that they need to in the reading report as well as the word practice report. You, the teacher, when you log in, will also see this very same information as the teacher. Now that the student has finished their recording, we have logged back into MyNG Connect on the teacher side. From the teacher side, looking at Reach Level C, I want to see the data that my student has now recorded based on their readings within Comprehension Coach. In order for me to see that, I'm going to use this center section of my home page below the heading Reach into Teaching, and I'm going to click on the link that says Reports. When I activate this link, it actually defaults to my first level of content, which is level A. We did our recording with level C. So I'm going to click on level C, and the data should change. Now I see information for the student that just took their Comprehension Coach and answered those questions within Comprehension Coach. Because I only have one student in my class, I would be able to see just that one student by clicking here. If I had more students in my class, all of their names would follow after this particular student. So my student was reading at 75 words correct per minute, stayed on task for about 7 minutes. I can view their progress. I see that they answered the comprehension questions, and at some point they've played phonics games, vocabulary games, but this student does not have any words in their vocabulary notebook. If I wanted to view their progress by clicking here, I would see that my student has completed all of the reading based on the indicator. They've completed all of the questions, again, based on this indication. I do see that I can see the reading report using my key at the bottom of this page, and then I could see what's possible for words read correct per minute and how many points were earned and what the goal was for those words per minute. So I'm going to go back to that first page for just a second so that I can click on this student, and this is a specific report for that student alone. Again, it shows the same information because I only have one student. But if your entire list of students had been listed here, you not only would be able to click on this student, but you would be able to see individual reports for every student in your class using Comprehension Coach. Before we leave Comprehension Coach, let me go in and show you how to change the settings for your students' voice recognition. As we are on your home page of myngconnect.com, you would click the tab under Reach into Teaching for Class Management. When we click this tab for Class Management, you will see all of your students listed for your class. In order to change the settings for any one student, click that particular student, and then move to the far right of this screen under Actions. And under Actions, use the drop menu that now says Select, but when you click on the arrow, you can set reading accuracy. Click this logo, and under this reading accuracy modification, you can adjust how strict the system is on the student's reading ability. This student, I'm going to click medium, so that if I need it just to be a little bit easy on the student, it will be. If this student is already reading extremely fluently, I can change the setting to high. Or if this student reads slowly, or if this student articulates each word slowly, this will indicate for the system to slow down that passage. So in our case, we're going to give it a medium setting, and make sure you click Save. Now that reading accuracy level has been successfully saved, so when that student logs back in to read a passage, you'll find a difference in what we did the first time I read as a student and what would be indicated here and now. Again, that's found under your Class Management tab from your home page under Reach into Teaching. Click Class Management, identify the student that you need to adjust their settings, click Set Accuracy, and then adjust it how you feel it should be appropriately adjusted for those or that particular student. I'm going to close out of the Class Management tab now. It takes us back to our report, and I will close that tab. And I just want to remind you of a couple of more things before we finish up. Returning one final time to your home page, I want to remind you again of your Help button. The Help button will provide for you your user manual for Reach within myngconnect.com. When I click on this Help button, that manual will appear and you'll be able to see that content. After clicking the help link, it takes me to Reach Teacher Help, and I see my user manual, my minimum system requirements, and a list of those documents that are printable from myngconnect.com. I'll click here to open up that user manual for just a moment so that you can see the resources that are available for you within the manual. You could save this manual on your hard drive, on your desktop, on a thumb drive, so that you have easy access to it, or you could print this manual off. Just be aware this is a 41-page document that is housed on myngconnect.com. And finally, in addition to the Help button, remember that there are on-demand modules for myngconnect.com as it relates to REACH on National Geographic's MyNG Connect. Again, looking into the Reach into Teaching section under Professional Development, you will find resources that are available for you, including those on-demand modules. We hope that this session has been beneficial to you, and please feel free to call us if you have any questions regarding any of the products from National Geographic Learning. Thank you so much and have a good day.